Hey, what's up everyone? I've been meaning to make a video about this for a while now. This is a personal Mandela effect video. I'm going to assume it's a Mandela effect since this happened many years before the term was coined. So it was many years before 2015. There was a program that I remember very vividly. My mama does as well because we both sat down and watched it together on PBS. And we saw this nature documentary where I think it was Nova. It might have been Nova. I'm not sure. And they had searched for this 4,000-pound alligator. And it was over 4,000 pounds. Maybe it was 4 tons. I'm not sure. It was a very large alligator in the jungles, in the waters of this jungle, and they had searched relentlessly for it and found it. Finally found it, and they had put up a huge cage, a very large, very strong cage, and we witnessed the entire thing. This is an example of one of those vivid memories that just go away, that just seemingly now suddenly never happened. But they did. I know it happened. We both do. So we witnessed this huge alligator. Huge. I sound like President Trump. Huge. Big shout out to President Trump. Anyway, the thing was very, very large. And they had built this large cage for it, put the structure together, and put a large door on it and locked it. And they put a live goat in there as bait. And I thought, oh man, that's sad. We both thought that. We were both thinking, oh man. And what happened was the alligator had got in there. They locked it up, and they said, well, I mean, the door closed. It ate the goat, but it bit the bars loose. It bit the bars open. It broke the cage and got loose. And they said, obviously, this thing was so large, it bit the bars open, and we seen the alligator. I think I'm hearing spirit activity in the other room right now, but we seen the alligator. And then at the end of the program, it had gotten loose. They said it had actually eaten some villagers, and it was a dinosaur basically. It was like a dinosaur. And I mean, it was pretty much the example of a modern living dinosaur. And they said that it's possible that it multiplied, that there are many of them in that water, and it might be one of the few left. And there's no telling how old it is. And they said there's giant alligators and giant crocs, giant crocodiles, like Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter, always hunted all these alligators. Big shout out to Steve Irwin, by the way, and all of his family for searching for all the alligators and crocodiles out there. I love the crocodile hunter. I didn't say that right, did I? I didn't know that at all right. The crocodile hunter. I can't say hunter right, can I? Anyway, hunter. The crocodile hunter. I can't say it right. Anyway, big shout out to all of the Australian people out there who hunt for the crocs and live with the alligators on a regular basis. And any of you that are on YouTubers, or any of you YouTubers out there who are on YouTube right now, shout out to all of you, because I appreciate all the viewership from everyone in this world. I sound like that South Park episode of where he said, I'm Russell Crowe, fighting around the world. Oi, you looked at me wrong. Them's fighting words. Let's start fighting. Oi. Hi kids, I'm Russell Crowe. Anyway, shout out to the big rest in peace to the alligator master, the crocodile hunter himself, Steve Irwin. Big rest in peace to him. Huge rest in peace. Big fan of him. No one was ever like him. His passion and his excitement for animals was just uncanny. It was unbelievable. Oh my word, it was just crazy. So big rest in peace to him, and much love to his family. Alright, back to my actual video. Just add a little extra fun there, voice impressions, and big rest in peace to Steve Irwin still. But yeah, his legacy lives on in his family. But yeah, I witnessed that program. My mama and I witnessed that giant alligator, and they showed it again at the very end. They showed it at the very, very end. That's one of two programs that I remember that we witnessed that never existed anymore. We seen it. We seen the alligator in the very end. You could see him jump up in the water. You could see him. They could see him at the surface, and they got a glimpse of him. And they got one of them. They caught, but it wasn't nearly as large as that one. It was still very large, but not in comparison to that alligator or crocodile, whichever it was. But it was a giant alligator that I remember, and it was definitely something else. I'll tell you, it was something for sure. And when we witnessed that, it was very amazing. It really was. And later, turns out when they aired it again, but guess what? None of that happened. They never found that giant alligator. They never found it. Like they did in the episode that we were watching. The only thing that happened was at the end they caught a glimpse of the possible alligator. And they measured the size of where he scooted through the mud into the water. And that was all. And they seen him at the very end. And they seen some regular sized alligators. And that was all. They never did show him. But they never did show it. But I remember another episode where we both do, where they had these ancient, pretty much the only living, it hadn't been touched by humans. And I said, well, they're going to ruin it now. They had hundreds of year old turtles that were hundreds of years old. They had fish that had been living there for hundreds of years. And all kinds of aquatic creatures. All kinds of beautiful, beautiful fish. There were fish with beaks. There were all kinds of animals that were thought to be extinct, but were living on this island. And I never seen it again. I never saw it again, never got to see it again. But it was definitely something else. They were very beautiful, the animals. And the fish they showed had beaks, and those animals were all untouched by man, untouched by humans. And not anymore, basically. But I never seen that again. Never. Neither of us did. Those two programs, I could never find those two programs anymore. And I've looked on Nova, I've looked online, I've searched everywhere, and I couldn't find them. So that's two personal shifts or MEs for me. And I wish I could find them. I really do. They were beautiful fish and coral, and there were these fish with beaks, and birds that made very unusual or strange sounds. They had various strange looking birds and animals of various kinds. Lizards that would push their eggs out into the ocean, and they just ran and moved a certain way. Very giant lizards, large lizards. They had that island had huge turtles that had been alive for hundreds of years, and or at least that's what they stated. They estimated their age to be hundreds of years old. I think that's what they stated. One of them, I think, was 300 years old, and yeah, so definitely some things that happened where, I mean, those two programs were very fascinating, and I've never been able to find them again. Actually, that shift happened right before, before I ever even heard of this phenomenon, long before then. I think I was in elementary school when that aired, and we would have loved to have found that again, because those programs again, because they were really, really fascinating. But anyway, peace, much love. Give your thoughts. Have you experienced something similar? I'm sure you have. My PayPal is below. Feel free to donate and help me out. Thank you very much. Help support the channel. And you can also feel free to subscribe if you're new. If you have, thank you so much. Feel free to share with me. Leave a like and leave your comments. Peace. Much love. Thank you for watching. I hope to speak with all of you again very soon. Bye.